covering all your favorite parts of the 50-yard fight. This is the Inside the Walls podcast with Zach Keilman and Jim Mernier. Welcome one, welcome all to the latest edition of the Inside the Walls podcast. Zach Keilman riding solo today. Unfortunately, Jim Mernier could not make it for this edition of the show due to a illness. We hope to have him on for the next one as soon as possible and wish him the best. In the meantime, though, I am very pleased to be able to get a sit-down interview with one of the two newest teams in the National Arena League, the brand new team, brand new expansion team that has joined the National Arena League over in Fayetteville, North Carolina. It is the Fayetteville Mustangs that I will be having personnel from their group on the show. Joining me for this edition of the show, I get to sit down with Vice President of Football Operations Benjamin Pippen, along with one of the latest head coaches to the National Arena League, Coach Charles Gunnings, who is no stranger to the arena football scene. Gentlemen, welcome aboard the show. Glad to have you on. How are things going so far at this point in the offseason for you?
Right now, everything's going pretty good, Zach, and we appreciate you having us here, as well as the league. So right now, everything is coming along pretty good, and we're coming along really well right now.
Nice. Coach, I assume early for your process in recruiting and things like that at this point.
Oh yeah, this is the recruiting process. I love. That's the part that I love. You know, as a coach, you got to love the process of recruiting. Put all the hard work in the off season so you can eat the popcorn during the season. We got a good variety of athletes that we can pull from this area. But I'm pretty sure we're getting contact from different players right now. Of course, the NAL. That this league right here is a very, very, very attractive league. So I look forward to it. I've coached in several different leagues, and I'm looking forward to this league.
Awesome. And I definitely want to get into your coaching history because you've been throughout arena, you've played in arena, and we'll definitely touch on that as we go. One thing I think audiences want to get a little more in is what are the origins of Fayetteville getting another team here? I think some folks I've talked to kind of, they were like, well, I didn't expect this market to have an NAL team or an arena team coming back. What kind of sped up to Dr. Twaddell and you guys kind of saying, hey, you know what, this market needs to have it come back?
Well, actually, I mean, this market actually started with Arena 2. That was back in 2002, and I was a part of that organization, the Cape Fear Wildcats, where it was Arena 2 football team. I actually was a player for that team. And the funny thing about that is the commissioner of this league was the head coach of that team. So the market of the NAL is basically on the same market. It can be done here. It was very successful back then. From 2002 to I think 2005. It was great. It was very successful here until they moved on to Georgia. So Twaddell came on. Twaddell's been around. Dr. Twaddell's been around arena football for a while here. On the medical side of the football teams here. So he's had a chance to see teams come and go. So it was kind of one of those bittersweet moments when he steps up and knows what he's seen in the past. And I think he's seen some mistakes and he's seen some good things. So I'm excited for Dr. Twaddell to come in and do his thing, and I'm happy for him to have trust in me and myself to run his team.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I will say I had the pleasure of the championship to meet up with Ben and Doc as he goes by over there and run into them. And honestly, I want to ask you, Ben, as it's been, of course, a few weeks since we last chatted, but I mean, having some of the things, looking at this community, what are some ways you're going, all right, we need it. We'll hit the ground running. We got to get at a community level and get ourselves as part of this. What are you guys looking at in terms of connecting to Fayetteville?
Well, Fayetteville, pretty much with a lot of the teams have been here, have built relationships, and it's sad to say some of them have burnt bridges along the way. We're not burning bridges. We're building relationships that are going to stay, and the biggest part of it is getting in the community and staying in the community. Once you make a promise to the people in the community, they hold that with you. So that's my goal, is to make sure I hold what we say with the community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I saw with you with the press conference, you guys I had a few of the local community teams, it seems, come out. I know the Fayetteville Fury, already, I believe they already have talked with you guys. Is that correct? A few other tenants that are over at the Crown Complex.
Yes, we've also, they came out and supported us, the Fury, as well as the Marksmen, the hockey team. They were out at the press conference supporting us as well. So yes, they were. So that's one big issue. Not an issue, but one big thing that's going to be good with us is we're sharing the same complex, so we have to build a relationship with them.
Mm-hmm. Right. Getting local teams on the same page. I think that's got to be extremely important. For the sake of I would say Fayetteville. So coach, you've already talked about it. There's been some teams in this area, it's trying to build up that trust with the sport. Not only that, but now you get to say, hey, true arena football is coming back this time around. So, how do you look at, you're coming into the game kind of going back to its roots? The Nets are back. Last year, Iron Man returned. You get to coach the game that really started it all. How are you feeling about that?
Man, I played in the game where it started off, so I feel very confident about it. Those Nets are something like magic. I mean, anybody just can't come out there and play off the Nets. You have to be some kind of a different type of player to play off the Nets. So it's going to be exciting. I love the Iron Man because it kind of separates you. You don't have everybody can't just come play defensive line and offensive lineman and think you're going to just play that position. So it gives you an opportunity to show your strengths, and it gives you an opportunity to grow on some things you're weak with too. So it's an even playground, and I love that situation. So it's a coach's chess thing now. So I know some of these coaches in the league, they pretend not to know me, but they'll find out they'll find out if they don't know. I do know this game, and we will find out who's going to make it to that championship game team this year.
Mm-hmm. Well, Coach, I gotta ask. Every team's got its own philosophy here when it comes to coaching. Sure, the arena concepts, they're very similar, but everyone, I think, has their own brand of coaching, their own, this is my way of doing things. How do you see yourself in terms of players and how you interact with them?
Well, I've been around the Arena Football League for a while, so my philosophy has changed during the years. But as I've matured during my philosophy, it's basically, if you're willing to sacrifice a little things and you're willing to pay the price for the things worthwhile, then it's going to be done. So that's my philosophy on things. That's my philosophy on life. I always tell my athletes that, if you attack life like you attack these games, and you study the game, you study film, you look at a film book, you look at a playbook, because you got the ultimate prize is to win the game. If you attack life like that, and I'm a firm believer of the Bible, so the Bible is my playbook. If you study that playbook, that's your life. And your ultimate prize is to see the pearly gates. So I always incorporate that now. That's through my maturity of coaching. It's worked so far. I promised the man upstairs I would do certain things with this football thing. So I haven't left him yet, and he hadn't left me yet. So we're going to continue to do those good things in life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's, I like the message. It's kind of, you're leaving your impact on and off the field with these players and who you bring in. It's not just because I think a lot of times you're trying to build not just a team, trying to build a family of guys that,
Absolutely.
there's goals and they respect each other. And they want each other to kind of prop each other up.
Absolutely. You're correct. You got to look at this, it's arena football. It's not the NFL. You're going to get several different types of players come in. Players that just want to be around football, they want to be a part of something. Then you have those players that want to try to get out of there and do something, go to the next level. And as coaches, you got to put all those things together, you got to be able to coach all those things, all those different parts. And it's sometimes it get tough, especially if you get that one person that, that's the elite, and everybody else has to feed off of them. So you got to grab that one by the horn and make him contagious the way you want him to be contagious. So it's a good thing. I love the coaching process of, the building part of it. That's what I'm great at. The motivational part of it. Everything else falls in place,
Yeah, without a doubt. I gotta ask, I'm going to ask Ben this question because obviously, Charles, you get to focus, you're focusing a lot on, you're ready to build, you're both going to, of course, be building up a team. But I mean, for Ben, you're a little more closely related to kind of getting just the infrastructure and everything set up. This is a brand new franchise. I think people, I want to stress hard. This isn't a team that's coming from a league and joining. you have to get everything together. I mean, what are some extra challenges of just starting a brand new organization?
What's working for me now is taking it one day at a time. I'm not rushing anything. I'm watching and strategizing. I'm watching and strategizing. I don't make irrational decisions on anything. So as I'm watching, I'm looking at a lot of outside things as well as a lot of things to add to our organization. You know, we're not just making rational decisions as a coaching staff. We're going to make proper decisions on what everybody else in the league is doing. If you understand what I'm saying.
Right,
you know,
right.
It's like a chess game to me right now. I got to see what Columbus is doing right now, and I'm gonna throw that out there. I got to see what coach they're going to get in order for us to hire a new staff and what we're going to get. So that's my philosophy on things. I watch what's going on the outside in order to play my chess game on the inside.
In limited time this organization's been around, what have you learned from maybe other owners, team personnel? I feel like when you're starting something like this or joining the NAL, not only are you getting up to speed with how the league runs its operations, but also just maybe some tips and tricks on, say, hey, this worked really well here. It's not guaranteed to work in a community because every community is, I think, different in its own way. But there are some things that maybe you can take home, and maybe we've done something that we feel could work league wide. Like, what have you learned from folks around the league?
I've actually learned to actually be patient. There's a lot of times owners, coaches, different things want to rush things. You can't. You have to be patient. When the time is right, it's right. You don't want to peak at the wrong time. You really don't want to, as a team, you don't want to peak at the wrong time. So, and with saying that, a lot of players feel like, we're 12-0 right now, so we're unbeatable. Okay, when did you peak? Because right, you can be beaten at any time. So don't ever want to, look at peaking at the wrong time.
Mm-hmm.
So I've learned to be patient.
I like that. Hey, in this game, it's a long season every year. So, and I think not just only not in game scenario, but I feel when you're building a new franchise as well, arena is one sport that I think stability has not been a crowning aspect of it, that people still are trying to trust it. And I can only imagine you guys are going to be fighting a little bit of that uphill battle, just because, like I said, it's kind of, we're in a weird state in arena post AFL era where, it's trying to say, hey, the game didn't leave. We're fully back with the full sport that it is. We're here for you if you want to come back. Arena didn't leave. It's in Fayetteville. It's in Albany, New York. It's in West Texas. And so now you have to deal with that aspect of the game being built back up at this point.
Correct. It's going to take time. The pandemic took a lot away from arena football as well as other sports, but it's going to take time to build up the trust in the community across the nation with arena football. It's going to take time, but there's a building process. You can't just, like I said, you got to be patient. You can't just jump into it and say, hey, this is going to happen. It doesn't work that way.
All right. So it's just like a marriage, man. You married, then you get divorced, and then you want to go get back with your spouse, and you got to get that you got to get that trust. That trust has to come back, before anything works out. So Fayetteville has been burned a couple of times. I've been a part of those organizations. I've seen it try to bounce back. So it is a trust factor here in Fayetteville. So a lot of people, a lot of sponsors here don't believe it. They don't believe right now. So it's up to us to go out there in the community and show them, not just on the football field, because Fayetteville's always had a good product, no matter what league there's been in. I don't believe in the leagues. I believe in whatever product you bring to your community.
Sure.
So if you got a solid product on the field, it doesn't matter what league you're in. You can't play down to anybody. You got to play your game. So I've never seen a bad quality of football here in Fayetteville. So it's not even sports in general, even the soccer team, the hockey team, now the baseball team. We get ready to have a basketball team. So it's just, Fayetteville's a successful place. So look to keep building on that. But the trust factor has to come. And I think we got a right group to get that trust factor in, to get, like Ben said, be patient, but know when to strike. So I think Ben has that good philosophy with that. He's good with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like I said, when I'm meeting Doc and Ben there at the championship, I felt both of you, and this is just my own personal opinion, you guys, I felt the confidence and I love the excitement building up around this franchise. So that was you know, for someone that covers the league like me and Jim do, you know, it was a blast to kind of for me to get to talk with you two, of course, but to also, you know that, you know, I mean, obviously you're gonna give it your all, but I mean, like really it's like a giddy, like I can't wait to hit the ground running on this thing and kind of bring this whole product into the light here. I think some people have been curious about this, and I think, and I got an explanation for it because I understand. The Fayetteville Mustangs, where is the Mustangs moniker, the origins for it?
Hey man, hey, it's well, we have another Franco, you know Franco. He had a suggestion of he got with Ford, and then they came up with the Mustangs. So that's Ford is basically one of our sponsors now. So it's going to be and so that's when it comes to that sponsorship. And Mustang is a great name. You got to look at it, and our logo is tough. You know, so built Ford tough, as you may say. All right.
Yes.
But the Mustangs is a great logo. It's a great name. The name doesn't make us, it's the product on the field is gonna make us. So we'll make that Mustang name look real well out there on that field.
Well, it looks like a really good logo. The designs I thought turned out very well for the whole setup. And you know, personally, this is a little thing. I like the colors of the league a little bit different. You know, getting some teal in there. There's a lot of red, white, and blue in the league. You know, getting some brightish, more I guess popping colors this time around. Just a personal preference. I don't know. I'm just saying. But it looks good. And you got that nice and this is just a thing some of us know. You got the nice LA Kiss field that you're gonna be rejuvenating and bringing back into the limelight.
Absolutely, that's a beautiful field, man. I've played on it and coached. Well, I've coached on that field when it was down with the Raiders, and that's a nice field. I mean, it's a very nice field. So I look forward to doing some coaching on it and let these players play on it as well.
Mm-hmm. It'll be really, really good here. Gentlemen, I want to say thanks again for joining me on the show here. Appreciate giving us a bit of a primer for Fayetteville and at least the Mustangs. I guess while we're wrapping things a little bit up, if you wanted to come out to a game, what are some? I mean, are you guys doing what are your details for tickets? Or are we about to be doing that soon? Where can people hit you up to go see a game as we see the owner himself, Dr. Twaddell, join in? Now we got the trio.
Yeah, we are actually launching our season tickets up right now. After Labor Day, our website is getting ready, FayettevilleMustangs.com. And we're getting those corporate sponsors lined up already. And we're definitely looking forward to ramping up our season tickets and our corporate sponsors, and we'll go from there. So
it should be a treat. I can't wait to see this organization take off and get another Carolina team, you know. And I mean, hey, you guys, I mean, I don't know how much is going to be has been built up yet, but to me, you already got an in-state rival in Carolina. So you're going to have to be fighting for, you know, bragging rights for that area of the country. Should be a blast, and plenty of trips ahead over there too. But seriously, for me speaking for many of the fans out there, we can't wait to see you guys come and play.
Thank you so much, Zach.
Thank you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Go Mustangs.
There we go. Go Mustangs, folks. And yeah, seriously, watch out for details for the season tickets. You'll be able to get those here very shortly as they are prepped up. And you definitely want to go out there and support your local team out in Fayetteville, North Carolina. For Vice President of Football Operations Ben Pippen, for owner Dr. Robert Twaddell joining at the end here, and for Coach Charles Gunnings, I am Zach Keilman saying so long. Thanks for tuning in for this edition. Stay tuned. We're going to be continuing with our interview series for the new teams in the NAL. We'll also be having the West Texas Warbirds on at a later date. And we'll also continue other episodes in the off season as we lead into what should be an exciting 2023 NAL season. We'll catch you next time, everybody. Stay tuned.
Covering all your favorite parts of the 50-yard fight. This is the Inside the Walls podcast with Zach Keilman and Jim Meunier.